Hello and welcome back to Custom Craziness. Today we're starting our trek through the loser's bracket with our 16 versus 9 matchup. Over on the left in the 16 seed, we've got Legend of Zelda and the Urban Architects. This deck has a bunch of puzzle cards. They have a lot of output potential, but it's gated behind cards that require you to have specific setups of minions. And they're going to place a lot of counters to help make sure your minions are the correct power for the puzzles. Then over in the 9 seed, we've got the Iconoclasts and the Vessels. This is a very big snowball deck. They're going to try and score lots of small Colossi bases. Just get an example. One of these, try and score a few of these in addition to the normal bases. All right. For game number 1, we're using our low risk base deck, and the lower seed is going first. Let's jump right in. So we only have one minion right now. It's the Hyrulean. Oh, let's get that out of here. Yeah, I think we can start by playing the Hyrule. Well, no. Sorry. No, we want to play Magnificent Power Lines first. This is one of the key Urban Architect cards. It's going to help them do their thing. But yeah, we're going to play Magnificent Power Lines. Then we'll play Hyrulean. We'll do Cousin Larry's Smoke Pit. Do we want to get rid of this? Yeah, I think we can get rid of those two cards for two more. Oh, here's one of our puzzle cards. It's one of the easier ones, but that's okay. Then Magnificent Power Lines will react and gain a counter. And that's it. Alright. These guys have a very, very good opening hand. We've got, obviously, the Vessel's leader. It's probably going to have to grab the Iconoclast 2 because we already have one of the Vessel, well, what's in place of a 2. And this is one of the key cards in the Vessel's deck. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Knight over in Haunted Mansion. Grab a Shadow Servant. Let's see. And then we'll play Deal with Xommul on Haunted Mansion. Okay. So let's see. Oh, Resident is also one of the key Urban Architect cards. This is kind of the thing that makes them go. Let's see. Specifically two. Yeah. We can definitely start with Korok Puzzle. You can use Smash the Pots to score Korok Puzzle this turn. It's just a matter of what do we play and where. Let's see. We play a Resident and use Magnificent Power Lines to give it power to make a different power from the other two we have. Then we can play Modeler as well. I think I like that idea. Play Korok Puzzle, doesn't matter where it goes. We'll play the Modeler on Haunted Mansion. Then we'll play Smash the Pots with Korok Puzzle's extra action. We'll choose Cousin Larry's Smoke Pit. We'll play a Resident there. Power Lines gets a counter. Then we'll use its talent to increase the break. Oh, do we want to do Cousin Larry's Smoke Pit? No, we'll keep the topographer. We'll increase the breakpoint by 2. Resident can react to gain a power. And now we've got a 2, a 3, and a 4. so we can use Core Puzzle's talent to draw 3 cards. Ooh, Master Sword. That's a good card. Alright. And I think now we draw 2 for turn. Oh, I should have done this. I'm sorry. How much energy do I want to place on Hylia? With these bases, I think we do 15. 15 is usually a good starting number. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously should have done that earlier, but doing our best to make up for it. This is the kind of big puzzle that you're working towards the whole game. These guys can pretty consistently score at once, and if they work for it, they can do 2. 15 is usually a good place to start because, well, maybe it should be 18 with these bases, because you should expect a little bit of power from the opponent. I think I'll go with 15. These are pretty small bases. And chances are we can score this with one of them. Okay. Now we'll do this. And Colossi might help us with scoring smaller Hylia stuff as well. We'll see what happens though. Let's see. We can play Shadow Servant. We can play Wayfarer as well. We don't necessarily need to do that yet though. We also have King's Soul and Hunter's Journal for actions to play. I think what we'll do is we'll play Shadow Servant on Cousin Larry's Smoke Pit. And that'll place a counter on power lines, but that's fine, it's whatever. Look at the top 2 cards of the Colossus deck, play one and return the other. Kuzumori and Chikaran. I think we do Chikaran. Kuzumori is good for chain scoring, but we don't have the tools to get the most use out of it yet, so let's hold off. Oh, and something important I should mention is that the breakpoint of every normal base is decreased by 1 for each Colossus in the Colossus discard pile. These guys have their own discard pile. Okay. So now we place an energy on Shadow Servant. And I think we'll just... Do you want to do Cousin Larry's? I don't think so. I think I like all these cards. Just want to put something there so we have presence for the VP. We'll play Hunter's Journal. Hornet. Oops. Oh well. Not the worst thing ever. Still drawing a 4. Alright. Sacred Temple. This is a very good situation for Sacred Temple. Oh, this goes back down. We don't have to react. This would be a very good situation for Sacred Temple if we give up that resident power so that it stays as a 2. Because we need specifically power 2s to trigger Sacred Temple. We might be able to do that. I can see a world where we can pull off Master Sword, but I don't think we need to. I think it only denies 1 VP. Let's see. Oh, forgot to add the counter to power lines for the Shadow Servant. Let's see. Could we score Haunted Mansion, maybe? Get this out of play. Is this specifically? Yeah, it has to go to the discard pile. let's see. We could do a Hyrulean on Haunted Mansion. And then we use Sacred Temple to give those 3/2s 2 power counters each. Let's see, that'll be 11, 13. This can move over with its talent for 15. And use power lines to give that another power. It can doesn't look like we can actually score Haunted Mansion this turn. We can very easily score Cousin Larry's. I don't think we need to. If we can score Haunted Mansion with Hylia, then I think I think that would be acceptable. How would we do that? Probably not with Master Sword. Sorry, not with Sacred Temple. Excuse me. We do Hyrulean for 6. We need to get to 15 power exactly. Got to keep that in mind if we're trying to do this. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't see how we move over the resident though. If we do Hyrulean here, that's 7. This is a full +6 for 13. And we can do... Yeah, I'm not seeing a good way to do that. Yeah, it's 2, not from. Not 2 or from. If we do Topographer, let's see, we can activate power lines to, well, if we're not using Sacred Temple, we can just use the resident reacting to the expiration of power lines from last turn. We can do that still because we haven't actually done anything yet. And this would be 3. You can use Topographer, well, use power lines to make this a 4 first. And Topographer comes on Cousin Larry's and adjusts Haunted Mansion. Resident can react and move over, and it's a 5 for 9. Modeler can move the Topographer over for a 12. Still doesn't quite work. Maybe we hold off? I really don't want this to get scored, although it's not the most likely thing ever since power lines is there. Maybe what we do is we just put a Hyrulean here this turn. We activate power lines, and we place Sacred Temple on Castle Blood. This is obviously a little bit scary with Haunted Mansion being that close, but it's the... If we put the Hyrulean on other Castle Blood, then both of the Hyruleans can move over with Sacred Temple next turn. And that would be what? Let's act that out. For each of these would be 3 for 7, 10. We can make this a We can, let's see, 7, 10, 13. Hmm. We can make it 14 with Fairy Companion. It's kind of not great to use that like that, though. Hmm. We could alternatively use Sacred Temple now. I don't like that, though. Yeah, I don't like the thought process behind that. Yeah, we can play Topographer to move the resident over for 15. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. We can also use Modeler's talent to move power lines to Haunted Mansion, and that would be a way. That would also be a way to move the resident over, because the resident just needs to move over, and then we can play Ancient Sage instead of moving one of the Hyruleans. Yeah, we wouldn't even need Topographer. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's much better. Okay, I like that plan much better. There we go. Okay, what are these guys doing? Hmm. I don't think we can stop whatever they're doing over here. We don't have any stalling cards. I mean, we've got Cursed Fate, I suppose. Play that on the knight, but I worry it's not going to matter. Cursed Fate doesn't stop Hylia because it doesn't stop the minion from adding to its controller's power, which is annoying. Hmm. Maybe we just start building up a sibling? I don't know. Hmm. We could put Hornet on Chikarin. Start bumping up the Shadow Servant? I don't know about that one. Hmm. We do Hornet with Howling Wraiths on Chikarin. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. And then next turn we can Wayfare, and that alone does the power we would need. And it's likely to just be a 2 VP solo. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The only downside to this is that it doesn't allow Howling Wraiths to be persisted throughout the game, but I think we can live with that. Okay, there we go. Ooh, Broken Idol. That's a good one. Okay. Start of the turn, this breakpoint reduction wears off, but we're not going to react with the resident yet because we want to trigger Sacred Temple. Speaking of which, we will do that now. Place 2+1s on each of the 2s. Thank you, TTS. Oh, not that one. This one. These will react. We'll use their talents to move over. Actually, I don't know. The idea was that we could play an Ancient Sage instead. Get that going. Yeah, before we move this over, we actually want to do power lines first, so that the modeler can move it away to Cousin Larry's. Yeah, because if we try and move it over to Haunted Mansion, if we try to move it over to Other Castle Blood first, then it's not going to be, then the modeler's not going to be able to move it. So yeah, we do, and we can't add enough power to make the 21 work. Yeah, and while still making Hylia happy. So we'll decrease the breakpoint with power lines. Then Resident moves over as a reaction, which gives power lines another counter. We'll remove the power counter from the Hyrulean on Smoke Pit, I think. Oh, I already did that earlier. And then we'll play an Ancient Sage for 15. Let's see. And power lines, you get 2 more counters for that, one from the Hyrulean, one from the Ancient Sage. Modeler will move it to a base with equal or lower breakpoint, which can be Cousin Larry's Smoke Pit. Ooh. Let's see. Anything else? We've got an action play. I don't necessarily know if we need it. We could use Smash the Pots to play a Resident. Yeah, we can't use Master Sword, but that's okay. It only loses them 1 VP anyway, even if we did do it. So, not too concerned about that. If we did do Smash the Pots for another Resident, I mean, it's not like it does that much. It helps keep tempo, I suppose. Sure. And that puts another counter on power lines. Okay. Haunted Mansion scores. They don't have anything. They've got this, but it doesn't help at all. Yeah, they'd have to swing 10. So they get 3 and 1. There's 15 energy on Hylia, and they have exactly 15 power there, so they'll gain an additional VP. And they'll go down to, let's just do 13. Colossi make it a little bit tantalizing to go down further, but I don't think we should. And Haunted Mansion, these guys will obviously bury the knight somewhere. We'll put them on Other Castle Blood. Unless they really, really want something for the Shadow Servant to do with pulling one of the Vessel 3s, I think it's better to just bury the knight, get more use out of it. And then I'm having trouble deciding whether these guys should bury Modeler or Resident. Probably Modeler. An Ancient Sage will go. Let's not put more stuff on Castle Blood. Ancient Sage will go to Smoke Pit. Put another thing on power lines. Let's condense this a bit. Trade the 5/1s for 5. There we go. Okay. We're not using this, obviously, because we want to bury the minion instead. It's unfortunate. Okay. Ooh, good draws. Okay. Uncover the Knight. We'll grab another Shadow Servant, I think. Yeah, definitely. Okay, and I think our plan was we're going to play Chikaran. It's nice because we can draw 3 with the ability. Can we double score Cousin Larry's? That would be nice. Get rid of all of this nonsense. So we're playing Wayfair here. And I'll have -1, but it'll also have +3 from 4 from his ability. Oops. So that's the 9 we need. Still have an action. And we have Hornet. Shadow Servant could grab the other Wayfarer. Grab the other Wayfarer. We only need to get to 14. Wayfarer would be a 4 for 12 out of 14. King Soul makes it 13 out of 14, frustratingly. Could do Shadow Servant. Shadow Servant pulls another Shadow Servant. That does it. That does in fact do it. And yeah, it's really important to get all this stuff away. Okay, so do we still need to use... No, we don't need to use King Soul for that. We can put King Soul on, I don't know, somebody else. Yeah. Okay. We'll put King Soul on the Knight. Yeah. I think if we destroy this setup, this is pretty safe. Okay. Now we will score Chikaran. Let's see, nothing happens. Howling Wraiths doesn't do anything, but that's fine. It's just mostly a deterrent anyway. Alright. Shadow Servant will use its charge, its energy, to grab a Shadow... yeah, we can grab Shadow Servant. Yeah. I think this is a good opportunity to play Kuzumori. Oh, yeah. We'll do Kuzumori. And that Shadow Servant gains an energy. And it's still after base scoring phase, so... Oh, we should have done Chikaran's winner ability. This happens before we do Shadow Servant, because As far as I know, that's when scoring. So they'll draw 3. And now we do this. And Shadow Servant will grab Wayfarer, number 2. The other option is to grab Hornet, I suppose. Yeah, one way or another, we're giving up one of our 4s, you know. Yeah, that's the long and short of it, is one way or another, we're giving up one of our elites. With this hand, though, I almost think it's better to do Hornet instead. Well, no, but we're getting siblings snowballed. Oh, no, that's not right. I'll do Wayfair. Okay. Now we're done with Jakaran. This goes away. This all goes away. We're going to hold off on siblings until after we do Smoke Pit. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter so much. Now there's a Colossus in the discard pile, so Wayfair has +1, and the breakpoints are all reduced by 1. Okay. Oh, we can also do Smoke Pit if we want when we play Wayfair. No, I think I like this hand actually. This is a good hand. All right, Cousin Larry's Smoke Pit scores. They got nothing. Nothing they do matters. I can't entirely kick them off. Okay. When these guys go to the discard, we can play our siblings. I think we're going to put them both on Ice Crown. Yeah, put them both on Ice Crown. Castle Blood is getting dangerously close to scoring. This obviously sucks for Architects. Sage can't move away because it had a -1 on it. Resident can't do anything because it only reacts during their turn. So that just kind of sucks. Although, if Legend of Architects do manage to score Colossus on their turn, residents not on that Colossus can react to the Colossus going to the discard pile for movement. That's kind of interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. Alright. Yeah, it sucks that they lost all that stuff. But we'll see if they can bounce back. Scoring Castle Blood could help. Alright. Yeah, this isn't great. um, oh, Architect also likes the Colossi. Yeah. Yeah, there's some interesting plays between these two teams. I wonder how Architects Iconoclasts would do. That might be fun to try at some point. What are they doing this turn, though? We've got the Forge out. That's nice. Maybe we can do... Okay. I'm thinking about next turn trying to attack other Castle Blood and possibly get Hylia with it. If we play, let's say, Modeler on the Forge, then next turn we do Topographer. The Modeler can move over for 7. We can destroy the Topographer with Castle Blood for 10. A future power counter from the Forge could Well, we could do 2 of those for 12. No! One short. Hmm. I think the answer here does lie in forage and power counters, though. And they might be able to score highly again on another castle, but if they play their cards right, they'll definitely gain a future power counter from it. Very valuable thing for Legend of Zelda. And yeah, they don't have an action to play, which is unfortunate, but oh well. What are they gonna do? Not a bad start to the game, even so. Alright, Sacred Temple, that's probably not getting used. We'll see, though. Let's see, we've also got... Let's move this over. Uzumori, what are you doing? Kind of want to do Hornet on the Forge and put Ancient Sword on one of the siblings. I think we don't use King Soul this turn. Hmm. We could do Mothwing Cloak on the knight. That's not a bad idea. Well, that would just score Kuzumori, I suppose. Ooh, can we double score? Ice Crown or something? That would be ambitious. What are the lines there? Uh, what are the lines there? We've Shadow Servant would definitely be a part of it. Shadow Servant playing Mossy Vessel to move the knight away from Kuzumori after we get the VP from it. Ooh, this is juicy. This is potentially very juicy. I think it's worth looking at. Okay, so Shadow Servant would play another Colossus. That's whatever. That's fine. Then we return one of the siblings for 2 power counters from the knight. That's 4. We play Mothling Cloak to move up the knight, and King Soul places a power counter on it for the 7 power we need up there. We score Kuzumori. We use Kuzumori to reduce the breakpoint of Ice Crown by 5. So that would be 17. 17 power needed, we'd have 4. Shadow Servant can react to play Mossy Vessel, which can move somebody because there would be a second sibling there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Move the knight over for 14. Return the sibling for 16. No! Oh, no. It does work. Kuzumori would reduce the breakpoint again. Oh, that's so good. It exactly works. That's hilarious. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, Shadow Servant. Let's look at the top 2 cards of the Colossus deck. I don't like Hala here. Let's do Quadratar. Okay. Then, Shadow Servant gets an energy. Sibling will react to return itself to the hand. Knight will react to place 2 power counters. It's essentially just normalizing its power. On one of your minions. Let's actually put these on the other sibling, because then they'll be able to be saved with Mossy Vessel later. Anyway, Moth and Cloak. Use its talent to move the knight up. King's Soul plays a power counter on the knight. Or, well, the granted talent will. Splitting hairs. Okay. Kuzumori scores. They don't got anything. They'll get the 1 VP. Kuzumori will reduce the breakpoint of Ice Crown by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shadow Servant will use its energy to grab. Oh, there it is. Mossy Vessel. There is a sibling here, so we can move the knight to there. Okay. Sibling will react to transfer all the attachments, return itself to the hand, and knight will react for 2 power counters on Mossy Vessel. And when Kuzumori goes to the discard pile, all the other breakpoints get reduced by another 1, which is exactly what we need to score Ice Crown. Nice. Yeah, and again, they don't have anything. It's just a free 4 VP. Nothing to be done about all this stuff, but when this goes to the discard pile, we can play a sibling first. Play it on the forge. We get a cheeky future, get 2 cheeky future counters. And we'll get a power and a draw, I think. Oh, this should have appreciated. And now Mossy Vessel will use its reaction to go into the discard pile. Transfer away the equity. This goes back up to 2. Okay. And at the end of their turn. Please appreciate. Okay. Welp. They are not doing so hot now. The best thing to do would be to score the forge. Although I don't think they can do it while getting the bonus VP from it. Fortunately, they can't either. Yeah, it's going to take a couple of turns, I think, to do that. Kind of wish we could use Modeler to move one of these guys away, but it's not the worst thing ever to have more movement available. We play Architect terminally for more power, I think. Ideally, we'd be able to score highly at the same time, but that seems super unlikely. I guess we may as well play Sacred Temple. It's the only action we have to play. I'll play Ancient Sage for a draw counter? Yeah, we'll do draw. Yeah, because I don't think we can do anything cheeky with Other Castle Blood. And we could use our power counter for 5, Fairy Companions at 10, or Architect. But, yeah, no. Nothing cheeky to be done there. Okay. That's it. Okay. What are these guys doing? Think now Second Hornet can land somewhere. Wait, can we just score the forge maybe? Let's see, broken vessel can liquidate the ancient sage. It's just +3 though. Is it? It's the guy's printed power. We got broken idol to reduce forge by net 4 with Kuzumori. I think we need to hold off a little bit. Let's think. We could potentially go for, let's move Quadrator over here, just for consistency. We could potentially go for Quadrator and have that lead into a double score of the Forge. We can do Dream No More for a couple of extra minions on Forge as well. What would that do? Let's see, if we do Dream No More, that adds a net of 9, 10. It's close. It's close. It's very close. Could use the power counter for the last power. That's not the worst thing in the world because yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world because we've got what's it called? Oh, and yeah, we can just use a broken vessel when it goes to the discard and Shadow Servant to get a minion on Quadrator and score that probably. Sure. Yeah. Well, that's actually no, that doesn't win the game because it's only 4 VP if we're maybe we just hold off. I do like the idea of using Broken Vessel to steal the Sage's power. Hmm. Is there anything else we can do? We could do this in the reverse? No, we can't do this in the reverse. Hmm. I do think. Hmm. I do think we should put some power out on the forge. We can potentially use Cursed Fate to swing it. And that would be cool. We can play Dream No More this turn. It's probably the best use we're going to get out of it. And that is very good use. And we don't score it specifically so we can get the extra VP. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Play Hornet first. Use its talent. Then we'll play Broken Vessel. Yeah, these are bankable plays. Destroy the Ancient Sage. Place 3 power counters. Broken Vessel. Siblings will react to return and transfer in the equity. And we'll do Shadow Servant. Who knows, maybe we'll get a... No. Yeah, we'll do Halo. That's less intrusive. Although, we don't have any minions of power 3 or less. Actually, neither do they. Maybe Tritania is the correct option then. There are no minions of power 3 or less on the board right now. Actually, no, there's Shadow Servant. That's annoying. That's very annoying, actually. No, we'll do Halo. And Shadow Servant gets an energy. And the reason we're not scoring the base... Oh, wait, no. We can... Okay. Yeah, there's a way we can win this turn. It's... Before we do the Dream No More thing, we do future power counter on one of the siblings, so it eventually goes to Broken Vessel. Then, yeah, we're playing 3 minions there, so we can even spend the draw counter. And they're playing 3 minions there, so they can get a future counter of each kind to spend with the ability. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Don't know how I didn't see that earlier. Oh well. Alright. How much power is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Shadow Servant just has to grab something bigger than 0. Wow. That'd be so difficult. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have minions that qualify. Okay. 4 to scoring. We'll spend these for a VP. They don't have enough to spend. So now they'll get the winner's VP. They won the base, so Shadow Servant can go. Play Ogre. And after the stuff goes to the discard pile, Broken Vessel can transfer all the stuff to Ogre. Ooh. Alright, and clean up. And you score Quadrator. Boop! That's game. Alright, yeah. Not much to say here. The score of Smoke Pit is definitely what did Architects in. It's hard to say whether I should have spread the stuff out to other bases, because with the Knight, you figure the Knight's getting buried in another Castle Blood, with it's more of a footprint here, and we're setting more stuff up there. Yeah. Uh, Putting the Resident here was dangerous, because then it's likely that they'll score other Castle Blood. And I guess you can make the argument that losing just the Resident is better than losing all of that. I don't know. It's also hard to extrapolate how that would affect the rest of the game. It would probably make it closer, though. Oh, well. I'm sure they'll be able to do perfectly fine things in the next game. This is a good deck that just kind of fell behind the snowball. To be fair, these guys drew very well. Well, we'll see if they can pull it back in the next couple of games. I'll see you then. Alright, it's time for game number 2. We're using our medium risk base deck, and the loser of the last game is going first. Let's jump right in. First thing I gotta do, before I forget again, is Hylia. With these bases out, Forest of Nibel is an interesting one. If we score highly on one of these and manage to get Forest at the same time, that's kind of a definite double dip on Hylia, because we can calibrate how much energy we remove from the first one. But that's thinking very long term. Let's do 18 energy. Thinking about a left here. That's definitely the obvious first base to go for. Uh, hmm. It could make sense to do something a bit more moderate, like 16. Account for some breakpoint reduction and opponent presence. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I like that better. Do 16. Right, opening hand. We got one minion, which makes this very easy. Pending projects, also great. It's too bad we can't play that before we do Hylia. It's okay though. So we'll do pending projects. What is going to be the most useful for them? I think they don't want Fiesta. That has potential to backfire badly. Well, they can just not put the puzzles there, I suppose. VLT, how does that shape up the sifting? It definitely helps them a fair bit. It also helps them a fair bit. Uh, I think it's about neutral. We'll definitely put Fiesta at the bottom, though. I think there are a good number of ways that can backfire. And then the other two are kind of just whatever. Let's put the 4-3 later in. Yeah. Let's put Ancient Sage on checkpoint 11. Another kind of unfortunate thing about Forest is that we can't move the Ancient Sage to Forest to help with scoring it, just because this is when. Oh well, not much to be done about that. Alright, we've got Drew Minion. It's always good. Hold on. And we're back. Okay, it's their turn. Let's see. Kind of want to find ways to play Colossi. Oh, we have to do checkpoint LF. What did they have? They had these. Um, it's kind of hard to say if they would have taken the chance. Um, uh, hmm. Uh, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll put the Ancient Sage on Force and Nibel instead. That's what we'll do. Because I always forget checkpoint to left is mandatory. Yeah. Okay. Keeping that in mind now. Let's see. What do you want to put and where? Starting Ogre on checkpoint left could be fun. I don't want to hit a minion though. Maybe we start him on a gargantuan jellyfish then. We could also throw a sibling on Forest in preparation for Broken Vessel, but like, eh. I think I prefer this plan. Oh yeah, see, we would have discarded Hornet. Alright. Do they have an action they want to do with checkpoint LF? Triforce potentially, but they can also just play Triforce normally, so eh. Let's see. We'll put Modeler on Jellyfish and put Triforce out on Forest, I guess. No, we'll put Triforce on LF. Alright. Yeah. It's so hard to think about what to do with checkpoint because you need actions you want to play next turn in your hand. And again, we can play Sibling on Forest. We can play Hornet, I suppose. Hornet wouldn't be doing anything though, so let's do the Sibling. And again, we will not be playing an action. Ooh, that's a good start. It's a good thing we didn't gamble on a left. This is a definitely slow start to the game. Let's see if we put, let's say, civil engineering down with checkpoint, are we going to be able to get leverage out of it? We have to play a minion there again next turn is the thing. With the modelers, potentially. We could potentially be able to score Forest and put 16 out. I'm not sure if we'll be able to score Triforce like that. Certainly with the resident moving once, that would make it a 3 for Triforce. But we don't really have a third minion we can easily make a 3, because Triforce wants 3 minions of power 3. hmm. Alright, here's what we'll do. We'll do Resident on Forest. Well, actually we can do Triforce if we put a -1 on the modeler with Smash the Pots as our normal action. No, that doesn't work because if we want to get value out of Smash the Pots that way, I suppose we could certainly do that this turn. But what would we get with Triforce if we did that? I don't want to just grab like power lines or something. Well, we could also play a modeler as our normal minion next turn to do that. Sure. That makes it more tenable to do that. Alright. Put. We could also do Smash the Pots with checkpoint 11 instead. That might be more viable. Either way, it's looking like we're not playing an action this turn, which is fine. Yeah. I think I like that better. Keeps us flexible. Okay. And now we draw 2. Yeah, Sacred Temple. Oh, nice. Okay, what are these guys doing? Hmm. Well, we can do our broken vessel plan, I suppose. can also just do Hornet or something. Although with the way this is shaping up, they got a 2 out, they got a resident, they got a 3 out. We might be able to intuit that they're cooking something up. And it might be good to delay Hornet a turn to avoid losing it and just put a sibling out instead. That is a nice thing about siblings, that they're 0 power footprints. It's kind of the idea with them, I suppose. It's hard to say. It does keep us open for if they don't burst next turn. And again, we're not. Oh, but if we play a minion on a left. Oh no, we can get around that with Ogre. Yeah. Yeah, we can put sibling here, and then Ogre moves it over to the left, so we don't have to interact with the left. All right. And yeah, no action we want to play again. We keep drawing minions, which is fine. The minions are dead, but eventually we gotta do some other stuff, you know? Alright, what are these guys doing? What is Triforce doing is probably more accurate. We'd definitely rather not break checkpoint LF with them providing 0 power. That's just not smart. At the same time, we don't have the minion quantity to want to go for jellyfish, and Forest of Nibel is kind of it's not bad for the price that they'd be paying, especially if they can Hylia or something. But it would probably cost them everything in play, I think. We'll just place it anywhere, right? Yeah. Okay, let's think. If they're playing Civil Engineering as their normal action play, then the Resident can move over after they do Triforce. Now before 5, 6, 7 with the Ancient Sage already there, or playing a Modeler as a regular minion, the Modelers could move over themselves for another 8. That's what, 4, 7 plus 8 is 15, then they need one more to hit the 16. If they can do a Fairy Companion something or other, I guess we can look at options for Modeler after we play Smash the Pots with checkpoint left. Alright, we will place a -1 on Modeler and a +1 on Resident. And now we do control 3 means of power 3, so we can do Triforce. And let's think about the cheapest way to get to 16 power. Arc Architect actually would be a way. And that's not bad. That, yeah. After the space scores, move another of your minions to a base with a breakpoint different than its starting breakpoint. And yeah, that would. Okay, it only moves one more minion, so you can move the resident away again or one of the modelers. But if we're putting Arc Architect there, that's 3. Resident's going to be 7. This makes 12. They need 4 more, move one of the modelers over. And then they keep another modeler out for momentum and move the resident away. Yeah, I like that plan. I like that plan a lot. Yeah. Okay, so Triforce will play Arc Architect on the forest. Oh, they have a sibling on forest too. That's annoying. That's very annoying. At least they're hitting their Hylia target, so it's gonna be 4-2 instead of 3-2. Yeah, that's very annoying. Well, at least they'll keep a bunch of stuff in play. That's kind of important for this deck. Okay. Yeah, we'll do Civil Engineering. We'll raise this breakpoint by 3. Oh, and Triforce Point goes back to our deck. And we remove the -1 from this modeler. Okay. Arc Architect. We play Civil Engineering. We drop this by 3. We raise that by 3. Resident reacts to move over. Then Modeler. We'll move this Modeler over. Keep pressure off of Aleph. And that's it. Forest of Nibel scores. Nothing they can do. Yeah, I don't think so. They've got 16 power there, and Hylia's got 16 charges, so they get an extra VP for 4. Ancient Sage can move away with its own ability. Arc Architect can move the Resident, probably also to a left. Unless they want to move, do we really want to move the Modeler? We've already got one Modeler out. They're not doing that much. And I feel that we will want a Resident out because that's what kind of makes this deck do things. So yeah, I'm confident in this. And we've got Sacred Temple in hand, so it's possible that we can make use of the Ancient Sage a second time. We'll see. Part of it will depend on what minions we draw. Nice. These are both good for Sacred Temple. That's specifically one of your minions there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we can make that work. Alright. Yeah. It's a little annoying. It's okay, though. Alright. We got a Shadow Servant. I think we want to play it. Get a Colossus out. We can also play Hornet, but, like, I think I prefer this. Maybe we can play it on Jellyfish so that we can strike now if we want with Ogre. We can also do that later though, so I don't think this is at all in danger. Yeah, we'll just play this on Telescope for the sifting. All right, and we will do this. We got Skarnax, Jakar. We'll do Jakarin. Good to know Skarnax is there though. Do the one that's harder to insta-break. For the opponent, that is. And then, yeah, next turn they'll have Wayfarer and Ogre, who can move over for 6, 7, 8. We can figure something out for the last power. Yeah, we'll figure something out, I'm sure. Oh, we can also just like use an action play to cancel it because we don't have any good actions anyway. We'll see. Still no good actions. Okay, that's the plan then. Okay. Oh, we had to remove energy from highlight. Let's just do 2. Put it at 14. Not put ourselves too far down. Want to be able to trigger that again later if need be. Now, let's see. We could do something with Aleph again, with Sacred Temple. Or we can... Oh, I didn't even use a telescope, did I? Well, I can do it at the end. What would this card have been? King Soul. Yeah, they'll bottom deck Cursed Fate to get King Soul instead. That's definitely a trade I would make. That can also be the last power, but obviously using Chikaran's ability is better. More card efficient. I like power lines. Oh, the Resonance power wore off a while ago. This breakpoint reduction wears off now. Um, let's see. We can play Zelda this turn. And Zelda and power lines this turn. Then activate power lines to move the resident over, get stuff off of Aleph. Although putting on very large telescope isn't exactly that much safer. Hard to say. I think I do like that actually. Do Zelda. Well, power lines first. Power lines first, so that Zelda can give it a counter. Activate power lines so the resident can move over. And Zelda will place a -1 on it so that it's a 2 next turn for Sacred Temple. And that's it, I believe. Oh, well, power lines gets another counter. And now Modeler can move power lines to Aleph since the breakpoints are equal. Okay. And I suppose may as well do VLT. Ooh, Topographer. Also Resident. This is difficult. Very difficult choice. Hmm. This is a tough one. Because next turn they want to do Sacred Temple. Doing it with a Resident's probably better than doing it with... what's it called? Hyrulean. Especially if we can end up keeping Zelda in play or something. That'd be super awesome. We'll see about that, though. Well, we can also use Zelda as a means of lowering a Topographer to 2? I don't like that. That seems janky. If we don't bottom deck one of these, then the Topographer is going to be on top of the deck for a left next turn, which I don't necessarily like. Let's bottom deck this one. That might not be correct, but they've got a couple of good actions to play, so I'm not too upset about it. Right, then they'll draw these for turn. Okay. Alright, let's be intelligent about VLT usage with checkpoint Aleph. Okay, Ancient Sword. That's nice. Hmm. If we want to play Ancient Sword, then we need to play minion on Aleph. And then we can't move Ogre over to Chikaran even if we wanted to. Hmm. Tricky, tricky, tricky. I think we just do what we were planning to do before. Oh, bottom deck perfect shot. Well, it's not really going to matter much because we're definitely using Shadow Servant. What for? Not entirely sure yet. We could do the classic thing where we use it to pull Mossy Vessel, put it on Aleph, play Ancient Sword that way on the Shadow Servant. It doesn't exactly double score anything, but I'm not sure I like that because it gives power lines more juice. Could we double score VLT with it? Yeah, do we even care? Maybe we don't even care. How many cards is Jakaran drawing for us? 3, it looks like. That's sizable. Okay. So yeah, we just do that. I am fine with that. Alright. Oh, this resident. Yeah, Wayfair. Use Ogre to move the both of them over to Chikaran. Use an action play to cancel it, and Wayfair has +4. And I'll just take their 2 VP. I guess it's worth asking what the Shadow Servant is going to do. And it's clear that due to the fact that Zelda put out a -1, it's clear that they're going for something sneaky next turn. So maybe put out Broken Vessel, get rid of the Sage. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Do a little bit of disruption. Mm, yeah, the possibility to save Wayfair or something with Mossy Vessel is intriguing, but I don't know if it's entirely necessary. Especially since, there's another copy of Wayfair hanging around somewhere. And this still gets us the checkpoint to left trigger that we want. Sure. Okay. Oh, but this is gonna go first. Okay, that throws that out the window then. Maybe just put Hornet out on Jellyfish. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Yeah, we're recovering the VP deficit, so. Alright, so that's Jakaran. Do we want to do what do we want to do with Shadow Servant? Because I don't think we can't double score Jellyfish, can we? That would be ridiculous, right? We can't double score Aleph, can we? Okay, if we wanted to double score Aleph, how would that work? We would do Mossy Vessel, move over Wayfair, and that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 21. We throw Long Lost Maiden on for 6. That's 15. No. No, there's nothing from Aleph that can do that. Even Grip Strength to also save Ogre wouldn't work. That would only be 18. They would need 3 more somehow. Yeah, no, that ain't happening. So they'll just play it slow. Do Hornet. Okay. These go away. Oh, we do have a sibling to put out. That's nice. Put that on... Actually, no, we're going to put that on telescope. Oh, nope, that does not go there. That goes there. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I would have discarded the Shadow Servant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, huh? They're probably going to want to keep Howling Rays this game. I feel like they might need to use it to keep things close. I'll get rid of King Soul, I guess. It's a nice card. Probably not what they need right now. Okay. These guys. Start with VLT. Okay. So we can get superb suburbs out with checkpoint to left. Ooh. No. Yeah, it's too bad that we don't want that. It's too bad that we couldn't have used the Resonance power, because that would have allowed us to still do, what's it called? Sacred Temple. But that's okay. We might still be able to double score a left. Or not double score, just score it. Although they've got the minions they would want now for Jellyfish. And with a topographer, they can move residents off. That's appealing. That's very appealing. That actually would probably lead to a double score, now that I'm thinking of it. Okay. The requirement is that I have to play a minion on Aleph to get... Well, I don't have to. It just gets Fascinating Street out. Ooh, superb suburbs. Do I even need to do that, though? Like, I don't necessarily need to do that. I can just use modeler to move people in. I suppose a question worth asking is how... Oh, the way we move residents in is we move over power lines with the modeler. Yeah, it is. That is how we do that. Which we can do right now. Right now we just care about scoring Jellyfish. After that we can worry about scoring Hylia with something. It would probably end up being VLT if I had to guess. Uh, let's see. 14. There's 2 power here. Breakpoint would be down to 17. They need to get minus. They need to get 1 more juice out of something. If you understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm going for here. Let's get a figure out what to do with VLT before we proceed. I think we'd rather score VLT than Aleph just because they've got, more power there. Yeah, they only need 6 more power. It's pretty easy to get the power they need. I say we keep Superb Suburbs on top at least. And if we're using Sacred Temple, we don't need the Hyrulean as much. Or rather, if we're working after hours. Okay, so here's the deal. Modeler moves over power lines. We play a resident. Power lines gets a counter. Yeah. Now we've got a 2, a 2, and a 2. Play Sacred Temple and use its talent immediately. Remove the -1s we placed earlier. We'll keep counters off the Sage because we don't need them right now. We will put +1s on the resident though, on the residents, plural. And then we use power lines. Part of this is that we just need the... Ooh, we can score highly out this way. Can we score a very large telescope if we keep... Okay. We can do power count on Zelda. How big are those residents in total? 10 power? Oh yeah, that does double score VLT, and it scores Hylia. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and we destroy Secret Temple. Okay. Gargantuan Jellyfish scores. None of this does anything. Jellyfish doesn't do anything because all the minions are greater than 2. 2 and 3. Play Topographer to reduce this breakpoint by 3 during their turn, so the residents can move away and gain +1 each. Not that it's actually needed, but you know. We also have to react with Aleph, which plays Superb Suburbs. Not that that really matters, but you know, moral victory. All right, and then we clean this stuff up. Oh, and we get Hylia. Let's not forget that. And we'll just remove 2 more to go down to 12. This goes back to -1. VLT scores. And I don't think we need... Yeah, again, none of this actually does anything. Unless I wanted to grip strength stuff. Would they have wanted to grip strength Hornet? Yeah, maybe they would have. I'm gonna say they do want to grip strength Hornet. Counterpunch this. Bring the score to what would that be? 11 to 9, 13, 13. Oh yeah, score of 13, 13 definitely favors them. Since they've got a couple Colossi coming up. They've got a Shadow Serpent. Yeah, that definitely favors them. Putting the score that close. Anyway, VLT. Yeah. They're doing well. It costs them most of their board, but if they can win checkpoint to left, then they win the game. I probably should have checked these guys' hand before I determined whether they want to move this. Do they? At the very least, they've got Shadow Servant stuff. I'm actually not sure. I don't know if they do. If they don't have the hand to break checkpoint left on their turn, then I actually don't think they want to save Hornet. Hornet's 11. Let's say this makes 15, 16. Sword's useless. Yeah, they actually don't. Okay, so they're not gonna save Hornet. They'll save this for a bigger snowball. Though they gotta take out LF quickly, or else they'll just lose the game. Okay. Alright. What are we doing? We know what the top Colossus is. Hmm. We could use Ancient Sword to look at the top two cards of the Colossus deck, see if there's another 2 VP Colossus sitting there. That would be nice. Yeah, because if they can do that and then double score one of these 4-pointers, then that also wins them the game. Hmm. I like that plan. We'll always start with the sword. We got Skarnax, and we got a Velo. Okay. So that's not gonna rescue them. It's from your hand, yeah. Okay. And we gotta return them in the same order, right? Yeah. Not that that would matter for Shadow Servant necessarily, but we could do a Velo next turn or something with the Shadow Servant. With the idea being we can use Shadow Servant to pull another Shadow Servant. Score both of those guys. Yeah, I think that's gotta be their ultimate plan here. Is that they triple score a Velo Skarnax checkpoint or something. Yeah, I can see the lines here. How many cards do they have in their hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're not going to be able to use Winter's Redout in a meaningful way. They'd have to give up a minion play for it. Unless they return the sibling to their hand, but then they're... Ooh, I see the lines. We play Broken Vessel. Take out the Apocrypher for only net 3 power. Then what do they do with checkpoint? Put Howling Wraiths down, I guess? Because it's not like... Well, Broken Idol does do something, but I don't know if they want what it does. Because it also brings the breakpoints back up. It's likely that 9 power could be too much, is the thing. I'm just wondering if they need it to get all the equity they need to score a Velo. It'd be really nice if they had a Guiding Light. Broken Idol helps get them there, I suppose. Hmm. Oh, but we already played Sword. So we can't play another action this turn. Maybe they need to hold on for a couple more turns, which means I should be playing Hornet somewhere else. Let's do this. Yeah, yeah. If that wins them the game, I'd be very surprised. Okay, I'm gonna draw two. Monarch Wings is okay. I don't think it's what they need. Void Heart, also kind of whatever. Not great draws. What are these guys doing? They're wishing they had Triforce out right now, I think. They've got a left. We got the Superb Suburbs talent. We've got Moon Reset. They've also got Working After Hours. Hmm. I'm wondering what they're gonna do. They just need to score one more base before Ico Vessels do something crazy. I don't know how long they have. Uh, hmm. Putting power anywhere is kind of dangerous. You could do Working After Hours to grab Triforce. It's not a bad idea. Because we already have 2/3s. And we've got Treasure Chest next turn. Yeah, we put the Hyrulean on, let's say, Winters? No. Well, if we're... The way that they would win unexpectedly is by scoring Colossi, and we know that if Ancient Sword is moving around, it can hit either of these. So I think it's safer to put the Hyrulean on Winters, because that will still be less power. We don't want to put the Hyrulean on Fiesta, although we're not putting any counters on it, so yeah, we're not putting any counters on it this turn, so it's actually not as much of a problem. Okay. That's what we'll do. We'll do Working After Hours to grab Triforce. Put that on Winters, and then we'll put the Hyrulean on Fiesta. And then next turn we can Treasure Chest to put 2+1s and a -1 on it. And that'll make it a 3. And then we can trigger Triforce to do hopefully things that win us the game. And the Hyrulean can move over to checkpoint for whatever we want with that. No minions, that's not good. That's really not good. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay. I really wish they had Guiding Light right now. There's always the 1 in 10 chance that this top card is Guiding Light. Oh, they also need to play Shadow Servant in order to actually play the Colossus. That makes this difficult. They're bottlenecking on minion plays a ton right now. and it's kind of obvious that Triforce is geared to blow, but I don't think they can do much about it. Oh no, they've got Broken Vessel. That helps. If we're not, yeah, we need at least one more turn. We definitely need at least one more turn. So maybe what we do is we play Broken Vessel to kill one of these guys. I guess the Sage. Doesn't matter much. We'll use Ancient Sword to look at our deck first, see if Aleph is... Oh! Ooh! Those are good. Good things to see. Okay, I like this plan. Play Broken Vessel, get rid of the Topographer, and that gets us some equity. Now we can use Hornet first before we give this stuff away. Then I'll do Checkpoint Aleph. We'll do Hunter's Journal, Pure Vessel. Oh, there's a Guiding Light. Shadow Serpent. Okay. Yeah, and now we'll be able to place an Ogre on Winner's Redoubt, which is one of the bigger bottlenecks that we had. Although, we can't exactly move our stuff around in the way we want to. Maybe we end up playing Skarnax first? This removes all attachments though, right? Yeah, it does. We'll figure it out. We might need more turns though, which is not good. If we draw a Guiding Light, that makes this a lot simpler. But attacking Colossus is also good. But we gotta discard cards first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, didn't they? They didn't even play an action. I'll play Howling Wraiths on Broken Vessel. Yeah. Yeah, they played Hunter's Journal, but that was a normal action play. That was with Checkmate Left. That was a normal action play. Yeah, definitely play Howling Wraiths on Broken Vessel since he's powered up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Gotta discard a few cards. If I discard Ogre, then I can't use it to move Broken Vessel, and and therefore can't use it for power on a Velo. If there are a bunch of things that I could do in that regard. I think we do want Ogre out, because that at least opens up the possibility of doing some shenanigans next turn. Yeah. Then Monarch Wings theoretically actually does something with Long Lost Maiden, using it twice, but I don't think we're gonna have the time for that. And then what else do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Void Heart could actually be important for playing that sibling, those two siblings from the discard pile, which would potentially enable some Mossy Vessel shenanigans. I guess we kind of only need one sibling for that, though. because the idea here is that we're gonna score a Velo, score Skarnax, and after we score a Velo, we put the sibling out for Mossy Vessel to be received and save stuff from Skarnax. We'll see what happens, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, we'll get rid of Void Heart. Alright, what are these guys doing? They're definitely very annoyed that they have no minions and their third minion for Triforce got destroyed. Hmm. They only have two minions in play. They might just be sitting on their hands for a turn. Oh, I can at least play Highland Shield. That'll stop Howlin' Rays from swinging the base if it comes time for that. But yeah, I don't think they can do anything else to stall necessarily. They can't even use Moon Reset for power lines because they can't put any power counters on it. Yeah, that just kind of sucks. Okay, that's a third minion for Triforce. That's good. Alright, here we go. What do we got over here? If they just had Guiding Light, they could get things kickstarted because then they could move Broken Vessel over to a Velo with no trouble. As it stands, they can't do that. They can't even score Skarnax because Ogre only gets us 10 power out there, and Ancient Sword can reduce the breakpoint, but that's still only 9. Yeah, these are the top two Colossi in order. I suppose we can use Guiding Light to look at our deck again. See if... but I don't want to add more power on Aleph, especially with all this stuff bearing down. We could just score Aleph normally. If we do that, then it's a solo because Howling Rays can take out the Ancient Sage because Hylian Shield does not protect it right now. That would be nice. Theoretically. Ogre can at least move Horn over for 4. They need to add 10. 4. Then we'd kind of want to play Shadow Servant if we can help it. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't have an action that helps enough though. Let's look at what checkpoint left would be giving them. Nothing. Worse than nothing. Okay. So I think they got to stall for a turn. At least they know Hunter's Journal wasn't an option either. Not that it really was in the first place, but you know. Okay, so I guess they'll play Shadow Servant this turn. They don't. I don't want to go big or go home on checkpoint. That's just not smart. I think we just attack on Colossus, checkpoint Aleph, and play something somewhere else, certainly. Hmm. Maybe Shadow Servant. Hmm. Put Shadow Servant on Fiesta. Yeah, that's definitely safer. Oh, they're gonna have an opportunity to play stuff as well. On winners 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they are. Well, they haven't actually played cards yet this turn, so no, no, they won't. We're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do this here, and we'll play. Let's play Skarnex first. With the thinking being, we can move both of these up there now, and that's kind of actually a safer place for the power. Because if these guys go for it, then they can start pulling all sorts of shenanigans. It would be decently hard for them to overcome that. Is that on your turn? No, it's just on a base where you have a minion. And is that end of your turn? End of the turn. Okay. Yeah, and kind of messes a lot of things up if, well, messes things up for them if they go for it and can't overcome the 7. I kind of wish I could put Broken Vessel there, but if we could do that, we could win the game, I think. So, yeah, is what it is. I think we go with this. It gives us, yeah, we can draw a Cursed Fate, I think, because we have Shuffle our deck. Yeah, okay. Draw 2? Okay, it's not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Hmm. Well, we can use Suburbs to play the Ancient Sage instead of our normal minion play, for what that's worth. We can't exactly get rid of attack on Colossus, though, I don't think, at least. Okay. Since we're probably going to be doing Triforce anyway, let's at least look at our options. See if there is a thing we can use to get rid of that. Because if they can get rid of it, I think they win. But if they can't, then they got to go for somewhere else. No, they don't have any action destruction, kind of ironically. What are they doing then? Because they're going to have... Let's shuffle this up so I don't know what the top card is. They're going to have 2 Ancient Sages and a Hyrulean, all at power 3. Well, the Hyrulean will be a 4, probably. The Hyrulean can move wherever it wants. We can play whatever we want. from our deck. Potentially including something from our hand with checkpoint left. That's actually kind of funny. If we play the Sage somewhere else, can we just score a different base? We know that they bottom decked Cursed Fate with what's it called earlier in the game, but I'm pretty sure they have shuffled their deck at some point, so there is a chance that they've got it. And if they win Skarnax, it's not good. They would go ham. So I think it'd be better to try and score something else, like Fiesta. I'm just wondering what they would use. What would they use Triforce for? Because they don't actually have that much movement. Yeah, the fact that they can't score checkpoint to left really throws a wrench in things. Hmm. We play Sage, we play Pots. No, we play Treasure Chest. We use Triforce. I don't know where this goes from here. Because we can't score attack on. We can't score a left. Yeah, I really don't know. This deck is always a puzzle. We could just try to stall a left, I suppose. This much stuff just hanging around on Skarnax is dangerous, but trying to defuse it might be more dangerous. I wish they could stall it. Like they've got power lines or something, but that doesn't actually help. Civil engineering, except that doesn't solve the problem much. Do they need to hang on for dear life for one more turn? Potentially. We don't want to put more stuff on the left because if they score attack, if they get rid of attack on Colossus, then that means bad things are going down. Yeah, we can put it on Fiesta. Do this, I suppose. We can use Hylian Shield. To what end, though? Grab a modeler with Triforce. It's deck. Both modelers are in our discard pile, aren't they? Yeah, they are. I think we do still do this. Thank you, DTS. Still do this. And then we'll activate Triforce. We'll pull something out. A modifier, probably. It's just a question of which one. Hmm. I want it to be Fascinating Street, but I don't know how that's going to play with breakpoint stuff. Well, okay. We do know that Long Lost Maiden, if they have it, can only go on a base where they have a minion. So putting stuff in Winter's Out is safer than putting it on Fiesta. So maybe we grab Fascinating Street. And use that to move the other Ancient Sage to Winter's Redoubt. Yeah, I like that. And we do kind of want to move the Hyrulean there as well. This is basically no different from having stuff on Winter's Redoubt. Hyrulean's talent, move it. Yeah, they get decently close to scoring something, but they can't actually score anything. And this is better still than Winter's because they're going to need to put a minion on Winter's Redoubt to use Long Lost Maiden, which means it's basically the same as Aleph. Yeah, I think so anyway. Certainly better than putting the 4 power. Oh, we could remove one of the +1s instead. Certainly could do that. Make it 8 out of 21 instead. I'm just wondering if they have. Oh, Hylian Shield's also going to increase this breakpoint. I'm just wondering what they're going to do next turn. That's going to help with this. It's going to make this worth it. It is too bad that they can't play Triforce with Moon Reset. How many cards are in the deck? Not like would I redraw Triforce. Yeah, I think I do like the idea of removing one of the +1s instead of one of them instead of the -1, just so it's a lower footprint. I think we can deal with the consequences of that later. Okay, not bad draws. Progresses us more towards Sacred Temple, I suppose. Alright, what are these guys doing? Can they win this turn? Potentially. It's going to be harder with all of this stuff arranged the way it is. Hmm. As I feared, it looks kind of difficult to score a Velo right now. Let's see. How would that work? Let's trying to think. Oh, Hornet should have placed a. Well, definitely too late for that. That's okay. Ooh well. Okay, I'm just trying to think. How do we play all of the stuff? Or do we just store Chikaran with attack on Colossus and continue to stall using checkpoint as a safe zone? We might need to. I kind of don't want to play the Shadow Servant just in case we do draw a Guiding Light. Okay, what happens if Guiding Light's the top card of our deck? Then we do some stuff with checkpoint Aleph. We play a Velo, we move Broken Vessel to it. We transfer Broken Vessel's equity over to one of the guys on Skarnax. Or we just, play. No, that's fine, because we can move it with Mossy Vessel later. And then things would be coming to a head on Fiesta, it seems like. We should just score Skarnax this turn, at the very least. If we score Skarnax first, then we need a way. If we manage to pull it off, that's neat. We play a sibling on checkpoint Aleph as our normal minion, and then we can use Mossy Vessel from Shadow Servant to move Broken Vessel back or something. Uh, it's tough. It's definitely tough. Hmm. Grip Strength can help converge stuff as well. It seems like things are coming to a head on Fiesta. Okay, what's the line? We start by scoring Skarnax. Then Shadow Servant plays. No. We play Sibling on checkpoint. Then somehow or another we still score Skarnax. How that's happening, I'm not sure. The sword helps a little bit, but doesn't help everything. Doesn't do everything. We can play Shadow Servant. Yeah, that works. We can play Shadow Servant on Skarnax. One Shadow Servant plays the sibling. The second Shadow Servant plays Mossy Vessel. And that moves Broken Vessel up. And we can even look at our deck with checkpoint left to see what we're getting. Not that I necessarily think that's needed. And then, okay, after that, Grip Strength moves down Hornet, let's say, for 6 power on Fiesta. A Velo moves back Broken Vessel for 2 plus 6 plus 8 is 14, and then Long Last Maiden is the last power. Doesn't matter what we hit with Aleph at all. Let's use Ancient Sword. Okay, they're going to win this turn. Man, both these decks very puzzly. Let's always look at what this is. No, we want a Velo. Okay. Yeah. Ancient Sword reduces the breakpoint. Shadow Servant gets an energy. Hornet places a power counter. Skarnax is scoring. They got nothing. 1 VP. Shadow Servant number 1 plays a sibling. Let's see what we get, I suppose. Yeah, look at that. Great. It doesn't so much matter. Okay, that's all. Okay, cool. Shadow Servant number 2 plays Mossy Vessel. Move a minion from there for once. Oh, actually, it doesn't even matter if we keep attack on. Yeah, it does sort of matter for breakpoint purposes. Yeah, that's just something I forgot to take care of at the start of turn. That's fine. All right. That's both Shadow Servants, so now we clean up. Grip Strength. We'll move Hornet down. Then these two go away. I suppose we can play a sibling on Fiesta for ha-has. And then Avello scores. They'll get one more. Avello's ability. We'll move Broken Vessel back. And when it goes, when Skarnax went to the discard pile, this went down by 1. Avello goes to the discard pile. We now play Long Lost Maiden with her ability. And she gets +3. And that's game. Or will be once we give them the VP. That's game. Very close game, I think. These guys not drawing minions that one turn might have lost them the match. If I remember correctly, if they had drawn another 3, they would have been able to play Triforce again, and they only need to add like 10 power. They didn't need to add that much. I think they would have probably been able to score a left. And obviously the VP from Hylia made a big difference this game, even if they didn't win, because it put them in range of winning with just 1/4, which happened to be everything, which made these guys have to play very carefully. Was Cursed Fate? No, it was not. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, so Cursed Fate was a possibility that they had to play around, and if they lost Skarnax, all hell would break loose. Like, that would definitely lose them the game if they had Cursed Fate to swing Skarnax back in their favor. So all in all, I think this was played pretty much correctly from both sides. Unfortunately, Legend of Zelda and Urban Architects are eliminated. They have lost twice. Sad. It's unfortunate, but got to start cutting people down eventually. I think these guys had a pretty good showcase, as much as you can do for a 16 seed. They took a game off the 1 seed, so they can at least say they did that. I'll be sad to see him go, but I will not miss the brain power it took to play them. They are a fun deck, though. I would recommend you play them. I would recommend you play all of these decks. But yeah, I'll see you next time as we continue our trek through the losers bracket. Peace.